Eagerness or anxiety. Why should we be considering this as we plan our route to success? Well, come with me and we will see. Hi, I'm Jen Joseph, here to release your confidence. So, I've set a question in front of you about planning our route to success, and the truth is many of us actually don't do that. We have a sort of ABC back of a tissue or back of what used to be a beer mat plan, but we think about the process for our product or service, but do we think about the route to our success? What does it look like? What will it take? What will be involved? Tripping over my own tongue. What will be involved in the process of success, and will we recognize it when we get there? So here we go. Let's have a look at anxiety in the first instance. It's made up of nervousness, anxiousness, disquiet, concern. Anything that feels uncomfortable is going to be part of the composition of anxiety. So if we are working from a position of anxiety, that is going to be emanating throughout our whole being. It's going to be the key or primary focus or paradigm that we'll be working from. Now let's look at eagerness. Eagerness is about a willingness to share, a desire, anticipation, an apprehension for the end, an apprehension meaning a good looking forward to rather than a nervousness. Okay, so those are the two definitions we can look at. And at this point, I think we should consider a bit of introspection. What am I feeling right now? You know, I've got a project, or I've got a big call I've got to make, or I've got a proposal I've got to write. What is the feeling, emotion, or thought that's emanating from me as I'm in the process of doing this? Whatever it is that we're emanating, whatever it is we're working from, our perspective, our paradigm, we need to understand whether it is from a place of anxiety or a place of eagerness. There is a scripture that says, be anxious for nothing. All right, common English, don't worry about anything. You cannot even grow an inch by worrying. You cannot move a house from here to there by worrying. You cannot engage anyone by worrying. Why? Because worry communicates itself and it stagnates us. It brings us to a halt. It stops us in our tracks. So why is it important? Because it doesn't help us to progress. Now, if we're taking anxiety into our future and it forms part of our plan, what are we saying to ourselves? Now, this is important. It's a case of having a plan A and a plan B. All right, the plan A says, we're going to shoot for the stars. And if we don't quite get there and land on the moon, then we're not going to beat ourselves up. Plan B says, let's plan for the stars, but let's shoot for the moon, just in case we can't reach the stars. Now, what's the difference you're saying? Well, I read somewhere in a psychology journal, or I may have heard it in an interview, a F1 driver was asked how he managed to be so successful in avoiding accidents. As you know, if you've ever watched F1, meaning Formula One, the crashes that they have on the bends are horrendous. And the response was this: wherever your eyes are focused, that's where you're going to head. So on a bend, instead of looking at the barrier, he would look at the turn. And because he looked at the turn, his whole body would respond and turn the vehicle into that turn rather than aim for the barrier. So this is the problem with anxiety and having a plan A and a plan B, but planning for B. Now, it is part of the natural psyche to avoid disappointment. So if we aimed for the stars and only hit the moon, we could say, oh, it's all right. We knew that this would happen. It's actually the best way of sabotaging ourselves. For example, when I'm making a video, I could say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, they're going to see me, they're going to hear me, I sound horrible, I look horrible, oh, I've got a huge gap in my tooth and everybody will see it. Or I can say, I've got a message and I want to deliver this message because I want people to succeed. Now, that's eagerness. So eagerness has a plan A, which says, we are going to the stars and let's plan for the stars. Now, there will be contingencies because only a fool would plan without a contingency. Things do go wrong. If things can go wrong, they will go wrong. I can't remember which law that is. Could be Murphy's Law, I'm not sure. But anything that can go wrong will go wrong is one of those laws. So, the eager person will plan for a contingency to say, well, if this goes wrong, this plan will be put in place to get us to the star, not to the moon. So see the difference in the plan? The anxious person wants to get to the stars, but will plan for the moon. The eager person wants to get to the stars, and if something goes wrong, they have actions they can put in place to get to the stars. When you're eager, you are willing. You have something that you need people to see. Not because you need them to buy, but because you know it's going to be a benefit for them. And you can't wait. You just have that passion inside of you that's greater than passion because it's not going to burn out. It's because you know that this is going to be so beneficial that you just want to share it with everybody. And yes, the eager person will face nervousness. Of course they will. Because, as I said, there is something inbuilt in us that makes us nervous when people are watching us. Now, if you're a person of faith, you would know this term, watchful. We need to be watchful of the emotions that are arising. Another term for it would be mindful, awareness. We need to be aware of what emotions we're generating. Here's the thing. Whatever you push out comes back to you like a boomerang. The problem is that most people don't understand the principles behind this attraction. Here it is. When it's a positive, the good thing comes back in multiples more than you've put out. Thank goodness, though, when it's a negative, the quantities work the other way. It is never as bad as you imagine it will be. Thank goodness. Nevertheless, it's going to be bad because the imagination will be running riotously through the mind, imagining all sorts of horrible things that could possibly happen. So there you have it. You will attract back to you what you didn't even want. But as we know, it says, the thing that I most feared has come to me. So fear will attract back to it experiences of fear, just as eagerness, anticipation, satisfaction, and joy will attract back to it things that you enjoy. How does anxiety show up? Mini nightmares, daytime mares even. You're writing a proposal and the dread comes. What if they reject it? You're in the middle of a project, the dread comes. What if I fail? You're in the middle of a call, the dread comes. What if I can't close the sale? Mini nightmares, daymares. But how does eagerness show up? You're writing a proposal and you're thinking, wow, imagine what it's going to be like when they reap the benefits of this service I'm going to deliver. You're on the conversation. Imagine when this person starts the program, the coaching, the group, how they're going to grow. If we can work from a position of eagerness and be watchful, be aware, we are on the road to success. So it's journal time. What I'd like you to do is that each time you're in the middle of an activity, stop yourself and do a little bit of introspection. What is the paradigm I'm working from currently? And record that. And then ask yourself, how is this going to benefit me? And then continue to plan your route to success. This is Jen Joseph, here to release your confidence. Bye for now.